Hi, this is Fareen Khalid and you're watching my channel FK_Life Learning is Fun and Easy. Division can be a nightmare for many, but sadly we can't do without it. So I'm here today to make your life easier with some awesome division tricks with which you can solve a division problem within a matter of few seconds. So let's go! Okay, so in our topic which says speedy division today, what we are going to cover are a few concepts like dividing by 9, dividing by 8 and dividing by 7. These three seem to be a little tough numbers to be divided with. And then you have division by 5, 25 and 125. Then you have an amazing concept which is division by approximation. When you come to this, you will know and see how amazing it is. And then you have the final one, which is easy choice identification in competitive exams, MCQs. You know, when you are appearing for a competitive exam, you have these multiple choice questions and you do not really have time to solve the complete question to get the answer. So here we are going to explain to you the method how that can happen in seconds, and you find out what your choice is. Okay, so let's start with the first one, which is dividing by 9. So like I've written here, the clue says that first digit remains the same. Okay, so what we do is, when you have a question here divided by 9, when we are trying to find the answer, what the first step is to put the first digit as it is. Then we keep adding it to the adjacent digits. Okay, so what we do here is we add it, we get an answer, we add that answer to the next adjacent digit, and so on. All right, till we get to the last digit there, and that's when we do not write it there, but we divide that final answer with 9. Okay, this might sound complicated, but it's absolutely not. You will see when I do the example. Okay, let's take an easy example first, which is 22923 divided by 9. So 22923 divided by 9. Okay, so what do we do in this case? Like I said, you write down the first digit as it is, which is 2. All right, you add this 2 to the next 2, which makes it 4. You add this 4 to the next 9, which makes it 13. You add this 3 to the next 2, which makes it the 13 to the next 2, which makes it 15. You carry the 1 here. So whenever you have 2-digit number, you write the units place here and you carry over the tens digit. All right, then you have 15 here. Now you reach to the last digit. That's when you don't write it down here, but you do add it. So 15 plus 3, which is 18. So you write the 18 here and divide this last answer by 9. So when you divide it by 9, what do you get? You get 2. So you just put the 2 here, you carry the 2 here, and now you just add and get the answer. So 5 plus 2 is 7, 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 1 is 5, and 2. So 2547 is our answer. Let us check. Yes, that's the answer. Okay, so this was a case when 9 was perfectly going into this number, but there are cases where you have to use you have remainders. Okay, what do we do there? Okay, let me show you an example. 23412 divided by 9. So you have 23412 divided by 9. You do the same thing. You put the 2 here, you add it to 3, it becomes 5. You add this 5 to 4, it becomes 9. You add the 9 to 1, it becomes 10. You put the 0 here, carry the 1. Now the 10 you add to 2, it becomes 12. Okay, so we put the 12 here and divide it by 9. But this time we do not have a perfect answer. So how many times does the 9 go into 12? It goes in one time. So you put that 1 as a carry over here, and you have a remainder 3. So that's your answer. Okay, so your answer is 2. You go from this side, you go 1, and then you put a 0, you carry a 1, it becomes 2601. So your answer is 2601 with a remainder of 3. Okay, we can stop here if you want to, but if you want to actually go ahead a little bit more, okay, then you can do this in an easy manner. That's 2601, and since you have a remainder here, you put a point here, so the remainder becomes 30. Okay, now you do 9 times. How many times does 9 go into this? So it's like 9 times 3 is 37. Okay, now 27, sorry. So again the remainder is 3. So basically you're noticing that each time you will do this, you will get a remainder of 3. So basically your answer is going to be 2601.333 and so on. So basically it's 2601.3 bar. Okay, so that's how you do this. You can stop here if you want to, and if you want to put a decimal and go ahead, you can do that as well. Let's take one last example. 32142 divided by 9. Okay, it's 32142 divided by 9. So what do we do here? Again the same thing. You write the 3 as it is, then you add it to 2, it makes it 5. You add the 5 to 1, it makes it 6. 6 to 4, it makes it 10, and 10 to 2, it is 12. Again you have a remainder of 3 here. You can see that it's the same case where, so how many times does 9 go into 12? One time. One times. So you put it here, and again you have a remainder of 3. So your answer is going to be 3571 with a remainder of 3, or you can say 0.333. Okay, so that's the answer. So we can see here it's 3571 with a remainder of 3. Okay, so that's how we did a division by 9. But division by 8 and 7 is not too different from what you just did, with just a slight amendment that you have to make. Okay, the first thing that you see here I have written, which you have to remember, is that the base number we consider as 10. Okay, how far is 8 from 10? 2. So it is too far from 10, which means that we will consider 2 as the multiplier here. Okay, in this scenario we will consider 2 as the multiplier. So what's the clue here? Again the first digit remains the same, then you multiply that digit with the multiplier and add it to the adjacent digits. Okay, so the only difference here is that before you add, you multiply it with the multiplier. Okay, and then you do the same thing. The last answer has to be divided by 8. Let's take the first example, which is 1944. So 1944 divided by 8. So what you do here, the same thing, you put the 1 as it is, but this time you will multiply this 1 with the multiplier, which is 2. So 1 times 2 is 2, and you add that 2 to the 9. Okay, so you add the 2 to the 9 this time. So it is 2 plus 9, which is 11, and you carry the 1 here. Now 11 times 2 is 22. So 22 you add to the 4 here. So it is 22. You add to the 4 here, and it becomes 26. So you put the 6 here, and you carry the 2. Now this time it is 26 times 2. Okay, so 26 times 2 will make it how much? How much is 26 times 2? You can do it quickly in your mind. It should be 52. All right, so now 52 plus 4, which we don't write it here. Okay, so the same like in the previous case, we don't write it down. When it comes to the last number, we get the answer as 52 plus 4, which is 56, and this answer we are going to divide by 8. Okay, like we did in the case of 9 as well. So now 8 times how much is 56? 7. So we just carry the 7 here, and we have the answer. So this is 13, which makes it 3, and 4 is, and 1 and 1 is 2. So 243 is our answer. There it is. Now let's take the next example, which is 984. Okay, so 984 divided by 8, which is, so what we do here, we put the 9 as it is. All right, then we multiply it with 2. It becomes 18 plus 8. 18 plus 8 is 26. So you put the 6 here, and you carry over the 2. Now 26 times 2 again is 52, right? But we don't write it here, so it's 52 plus 4, this 4, which is 56. We divide this 56 by 8 again, which gives us a 7. We carry over the 7 here, and now we add. So when we add here, we get 13 and 9, 10, 11, 12. So 123 should be our answer. There it is. Okay, now let's do the last one. This case is with the remainder. Okay, so it's 2,924 divided by 8. Okay, 2,924 divided by 8, which should be, you write the 2 as it is, then you multiply it by 2, which makes it 4. You add the 4 to the 9, which is 13, and then you multiply 13 by 2, which makes it 26. So you add the 26 to the 2, which makes it 28. All right, are we going right? 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, and 9 is 13, and then you had 13 times 2, which is 26. 26 you add to the 2, it becomes 28. Okay, now when you do 28 times 2, it makes it 56. All right, so 56 plus 4, which is 60. So you have to divide this by 8. So it is 8 times 7 is 56, which you put here, and you have a remainder of 4. So that's your answer. So here to get the final answer, we just do 8 plus 7, which is 15, and so this is 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 plus 1 is 3. 365 with a remainder of 4. Now in this case as well, instead of stopping here, if you want to go ahead, you can just put a point after this, and this becomes 40. Okay, so when this becomes 40 and then you divide it by 8, you have 8 times 5 is 40. So your answer is 365.5. Okay, so you can either write the answer like this, or if you want to use the decimal point, you write the answer like that. Okay, so that's how we did the multiplication, the division by 8. Okay, so now in a similar fashion, we do the division by 7. Okay, so in case of division by 7, like in 8, you found out what is the multiplier by subtracting it from the base number. That's what we do here. You take the base number 10, you subtract it with 7, you get 3 as your multiplier. So remember always that when you're dividing by 7, your multiplier is 3, and you follow the same steps like before. Let's start with the first example, which is 175 divided by 7. So you have 175 divided by 7. Okay, you take the 1 as it is, then you multiply it by 3, which is your multiplier, and you add that 3 to the 7, which makes it 10. Then you add this, multiply this 10 with your multiplier, which makes it 30. You add the 30 to the 5, but this time you don't write it down because you're at the last digit. So you have your 30 here. Okay, 10 times 3 was 30, and you add the 5 here, and so it makes it 35. You divide this 35 by 7, which is 5, which goes 7 goes into 5 how many times? 7 times 5 is 35. All right, so here we have to just put the answer, carry the answer here, so which makes it 5 and 25. So 25 is our answer here. Okay, let's do the next one, which is 2436 divided by 7. So 2436 divided by 7, which is again we take the 2, we multiply it by 3, so it is 2 times 3 is 6. You add it to the 4, so 6 plus 4 makes it 10. You carry the 1 here, then 10 times 3 is 30. You add the 30 to the 3, which makes it 33. So you have 33 here. Now 33 you again multiply by 3, which makes it 99, and 99 plus 6, 99 plus 6 makes it 105. Okay, now 105 divided by 7 here. What do we do? 7 times 7 times 1 is 7. You have a 3 as a remainder, 35. So 7 times 5 is 35. So your answer is 15. But this time you have a answer which is a double digit, but you do the same thing what you did here, but you don't you take the whole thing as a carry here. Okay, and now you have to just add. So 15 plus 3 is how much? 18. 18, and you have a 3 carryover. Now you have a 1 carryover, makes it 4, and 2 plus 1 makes it 3. So 348 should be your answer. Here it is. Now let's take the case with the remainder here. So the example here is 865. So let's do it. 865, you put the 8 as it is, and then you multiply by 3. 8 times 3 is 24. So you add the 24 to the 6, it makes it 30. Okay, you put it here. Now this time it's again 30 times 3, which is 90. So 90 plus 5, so it's 95 here. You divide it by 7, so it makes it 7. On the 7 times 1 is 7, and 7 times 3 is 21. So 13 is your answer there. So you put 13 there, but you still have a remainder here, right? So 4 is your remainder. Your remainder is 4, and you put the 13 here. Now let's just add. So 13, you put it here, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 123 is your answer with a remainder of 4. But if you want to go ahead, like I told you, it's 123, and you put the decimal here. So your 40, so your 4 becomes a 40, and then you have 7, and 7 times how many times does 7 go into this? So 7 times 5 is 35. All right, so you put a 5 here, it makes it 35, but again you have a remainder of 5. So again you have a remainder of 5. This times 7 times 7 is 49. So you put the 7 here, again you have a remainder of 1, and you can keep going on as far as you want to. So but your answer is finally going to be 123, and after you can go on till whichever decimal point you want to go to. All right, so that's how we do the division by 9, by 8, and 7. So the only difference here is that we use multipliers in case of 8 and 7, whereas we don't use a multiplier here, because if you see, 9 is just 1 away from the base number, and if you multiply any number by 1, it's still the same. Hence we are not using a multiplier as such here, but we are doing the same procedure for all the 3. Now let's come to division by 5, 25 and 125. Dividing any number by 5, 25 or 125. That's like a piece of cake. You will just see how it is. Now when you divide any number by 5, all you do is you multiply the numerator, okay, by 2. All right, you multiply the numerator by 2. That's, you just double it up, and then you just put a decimal point in that answer, 1 space back. Isn't that easy? Okay, now when the same thing when you do with a 25, when you divide with a 25, this time you multiply the numerator by a 4, okay, and just put the decimal point 2 spaces back, and you get your answer. In the third case, which is when you are dividing by 125, you just multiply the numerator by 8, and you put a decimal point 3 spaces back, and you have your answer. Okay, so let's try the first example now. So in our first example here, we have a division by 5, which is 236 divided by 5. So let's do it here. 236 divided by 5, which is so what do we have to do? We just have to multiply the numerator by 2, which makes it 2 times 6 is 12, 2 times 3 is 6, and so 7, 2 times 2 is 4. So 472 is our answer, but with a decimal point 1 space back. So our answer is 47.2. Okay, so that's how it is. Now let's do the second one. Now 423 divided by 5. When you do this, you just multiply the numerator by 2, which makes it 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, and your answer is 84.6. There you go. Now the same thing with the 25, but this time we multiply it by 4. So 625 divided by 5 is our question. We don't divide it, we multiply it by 4, which makes it 4 times 5 is 20, 4 times 2 is 8, so it makes it 10. Okay, and then for 24, so it's 25. So that's our answer. But this time we, instead of putting the decimal point one space back, we put it 1 and 2 spaces back. So our answer here is 25. Okay, now let's do the next one. It's 805 divided by 25. 805 divided by, sorry, this was also 25, so 25. So again, we do not have to do any division here. We have to just multiply by 4, which makes it 4 times 5 is 20, and 2 and 32. Okay, so we have 3220 here. We just put the decimal point 2 spaces back, so our answer is 32.2. Here it is. Now let's do the final one. Okay, this, if you have to, you know, if you see this these questions, if you have to actually do the proper division to get the your answer through the traditional way, it's going to be really lengthy, right? But here it's really easy. Okay, now let's do this. 123 divided by 125. Okay, 123 divided by 125. In case of 125, we multiply the numerator by 8. So let's do that. So 8 times 3 is 24, 8 times 2 is 16, so it makes it 18, 8 times 1 is 8, 984. 984 is our answer, but we have to put a decimal space 3 spaces back, so that is 1, 2 and 3. So your answer is 0.984. Okay, so all you have to remember is you multiply by 2, 4 and 8, and you put the decimal points 1 space back, 2 spaces back and 3 spaces back. That's the only difference between dividing by 5, 25 and 125, whereas the procedure still remains the same. Let's take the last example. 211 divided by 125. So 211 divided by 125. So all you have to do is do 211 times 8, which makes it 8, 8 and 16. So our answer is 3 spaces back. Our answer is 1.688. Let's check. Yes, the answer is 1.688. So that's how easy this one is. Alright, so now let's come to this method which I really find amazing, you know, the division by approximation. You might not get the exact answer, okay, after 1 or 2 decimal points, but you will still get there. And you know, mostly it doesn't matter after 1 or 2 decimal points, even if your digits are a little bit different, but you still got the answer. Okay, let's see how we can do this. This is a really truly amazing method. Okay, let's see what the clue says here. First, you round off the denominator. Okay, denominator basically is the number that you're dividing with. Okay, so you round off the denominator to any easy divisor by plus or minus 7 x, sorry. So basically you add or subtract some number and you get the nearest rounded figure to make it easy. Okay, then what you do is you do the approximation of the numerator as well, okay, to the nearest rounded number, and you divide it by that approximate denominator that you found out. Okay, so if that answer was y, we multiply this y with the divisor with the number that we had added or subtracted to get a rounded figure. Okay, because till now we have just you know, used the we have just subtracted or added from the denominator, but we still have a numerator which needs to be added or subtracted with some number. To find that number, we are going to do y times x and add or subtract whatever we did here. We will do the same thing, add or subtract to the numerator. So you know, that will give you your new question instead of the original question. That will give you your new question, which will be much more simpler to you know, find the answer. So let's see how we do this. I know it sounds complicated again, but I promise you, like the previous sums, that this is going to be super easy for you after we do this. Let's take the first example. It says 582 divided by 290. So if you see the sum, it's 582 divided by 290. Doesn't that sound really, drastic? I mean, you can't really do it mentally, can you? You can't. And even if you do it, by the traditional method, it's going to take a lot of time. It's a 3-digit number divided by a 3-digit number. Okay, so now we do this. So now first step was, as it said here, to round off the denominator. So let's do that. How do we round this off? Now you can see it's 290. So the nearest one should be 300. So to make it 300, what did we do? We did plus 10. Okay, that's going to be the x here. Okay, we have done plus x, which is plus 10. Okay, now when we do plus 10 here, then we we have to take an approximate of the numerator now. Okay, so let's take the approximate of the numerator. So the nearest approximate figure here is 600. 582, the nearest approximate figure is 600. So what does this give us? This gives us 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, so 2 is our answer, which is y here in the clue here. Okay, now we are going to do x times y. So this was our x and this is our y. We are going to times them. So when we times that, it becomes 20. So why did we do this whole procedure? Because we had added 10 to the denominator. We wanted to know, to balance the equation now, how much should we add to the numerator. So how much should we add to the numerator now? To find that, we do this x times y, which is 20. So since we added here, we will add here also. So you add 582, you add 20 to it, and you had already added this, it became 300. So that's your new question, which is much more simpler to answer than this one, right? So how much does this become? This becomes 602, right? Am I right? 602 divided by 300. So we just have to actually divide by 3. So it's like 2 times 3 times 2 is 6, 0, 3 times 0 is 0 and point, and then you have 2 left. So 3 times 6 is 18, and so on. So basically this is the answer that we got. What is the answer? It is 200.6. We have actually boiled down this question to this one and made it simpler, and we have got this answer. Now let's check in the calculator what would our answer be if we did this directly. So it's 582 divided by 290. So 582 divided by how much is that? 290. Let's take the answer. So it's 2.0069. And what did we get? Okay, we got 200.6. Okay, all we had to do now was that, because we ignored this 0 in the denominator, 2 zeros in the denominator, so we have to go 2 spaces backward. So our answer is 2.006, while the answer in the calculator is 2.0069. Okay, although it's not the exact answer, if we would have gone forward, we would have got the exact answer. But even if you have got an approximate, that should be enough to get you marks, right? So isn't that an awesome method? Now let's become a little more comfortable at this method. So now let's do the next one. It's 3946 divided by 210. Okay, so it's 3946. Oh, the pen isn't writing. Okay, so 3946 divided by 210. Okay, so now in this case, what do? We to bring the rounded off number here for the denominator, we will minus a 10 this time. The last time we had added a 10, now we are going to do minus 10. So that should make it. Now, and the approximate figure of the numerator will be 4000, as you can see, because the 3946 can be 4000 and this becomes 200. So what are we going to find out? How much to subtract from the numerator. So now this makes it 10. Okay, sorry, this makes it 20, right? Yeah, correct. So 20. So now we have to multiply x and y together, okay, which makes it 200. So we have to subtract 200 from this number. So once you subtract 200 from this number, it becomes 3746 divided by 200, okay. So now let's do the calculation. So we will ignore the 0 for now. So it becomes 2 times 1 is 2. Then you have 2 times, so you carry the 1 here, it becomes 2 times 8 is 16. Again you carry a 1, it becomes 2 times 7 is 40. And then you have 2 times 3 is 6. So 1873 is your answer here, okay, 1873. And you had ignored the 0 here, so it should be 18.73. Our answer is 18.73. Let's check what our answer would be if we divided the original question with the calculator. So our original question was 3946 divided by 210. So which is 3946 divided by 210, which is 18.79. And what have we got here? We have got 18.73, which is almost near to this question, okay. It is the second decimal point which is in the same, but your approximate answer still remains awesome, okay. So let's do one last one, which is 37863 divided by 4702. 37863 divided by 4702. So you see how huge that sum looks, okay, but we are going to do it like a piece of cake. So what do we do here? We make 4702 as how much do we add to 4702 that it becomes the nearest rounded figure, okay. So before we do this, what we have to remember here is, let's not do anything which is more than 4 digits in the denominator here. So let's cut the 2 from here, and because we cut a number here, we do the same thing in the numerator. So we have to cut this as well. So now our question becomes 3786 divided by 470, and now we do the same thing. So we go to the nearest rounded figure, which should be 470 plus 30, okay. So our x is 30 here, so it becomes 500. And then we take an approximate of this figure, which is 4000, okay. So and then we do this calculation, which makes it 5 times 8 is 40. So we got an answer 8 here, which is our y, and this was our x. Again we multiply this, so it becomes 8 times 3 is 24. So 240 is the number that we need to add to the numerator. So numerator is 3784. So we write here 3784, and we add it to the 240, which gives us 4 and 12 and 8, 9, 10 and 4. Right, so we have a 4024 here and divided by 500, okay. So now when we do this, for now we ignore the zeros, okay, and then we have we divide it by 5. So 5 times 8 is 40. Then you have a 0, and then you have 5 times 4 is 20, and then you have 5 times 8 is 40, okay. So now we have this here, but what we are going to do here is we need to find the decimal point. But here if you can remember, sorry, I had to put a point here, and only then we get this answer. So it's 5 times 8 is 40, then you put a 5 times 0 is 0, then you have a 24, so it's 5 times 4 is 20, then you put a point, and then you get 5 times 8 is 40. But we still have 2 zeros here in the denominator, so we need to get this 2 spaces behind. So our answer is going to be 8 times 8.048, okay. So this is our answer, but let's see if we do it with the calculator what the answer should be. So our question was 37863, okay, it's 37863 divided by 4702. So 4702, which is 8.0525. Do you see that? 8.0525. Okay, let's do it once again. It's 37863. I'm just checking if I went wrong. 37863 divided by 4702, which is 8.0525, and we got 8.048, okay, which is almost like 8.05. The approximation for it is 8.05. So that's our answer, and this is the exact answer. So you see that we aren't too far from the actual answer. And you know, in most exams we are not expected to write like 3 and 4 digit after the decimal points, right? So this method is just awesome when you have to do such big calculations. All right, so now let's go on to our next method. Okay, like I told you previously, this method is basically for people who appear in competitive exams and they do not have really much time to solve the question completely. Hence, you have to you only have like multiple choice questions. You only have to tick one answer. That's where you have to see how fast you can do this in a short period of time. So first here, the clue that's written here is, you know, we have to just remember 4 multipliers. Okay, that's what is important here, to remember the multipliers. So if you get a 1, your multiplier will be 1. If you get a 2, your multiplier is 5. If you get a 4, your multiplier is 7. And if you get a 8, your multiplier is 8. Okay, and what we have to remember here is that this method cannot be done for the questions in which the divisor, the digits of the divisor do not add up to 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. If the digits are added and you do not get a 1, 2 or 4 or 5 or 7 or 8, and if you get a 3 or a 6 or a 9, then this sum is not possible. I mean, this procedure is not possible. So what you have to do first is check in your denominator. If the digits are adding up to these, then we go ahead with this method. Okay, so now let's check examples here. I have taken a few examples. Okay, so our first question says here 3,666,52 divided by 143. Now that's going to be quite a lengthy one if we are going to do it in the traditional method. So let's see how we can find it in a faster way. Okay, so 3,666,52 divided by 143. You can see there are 4 options here, which are almost it's like it's very difficult to find the exact answer if you're going through if you're just taking even the first 2 digits, because there are answers which are close to each other. All right, so let's see how we can do this easily. So now the first thing that we do here is that, as I told you, you have to find if this problem can actually be done by this method or not. So what do you do first? You add these the digits in the denominator, which is 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So when you add them, we get an 8. So like I told you here, that if the when you add up the digits of the denominator and it's either 1, 2, 4, 5, 7 or 8, you can go ahead with this method. So now we can go ahead with this method, and the first step we do is find the sum of the digits of the numerator and the denominator. Denominator is already done, which is 8, and the numerator is 6 plus 3, 9, 9 plus 6 is 15, 15 plus 6 is 21, 21 plus 5 is 26, 26 plus 2 is 28, 8 plus 2 is 10, and 1 plus 0 is 1. So the addition of the digits in the numerator is 1, and it's divided by the denominator, that is 8. Okay, but we do not divide this number by the number 8. What we have to do is, if you remember in the first place, I told you that these are the multipliers. So if you get an 8, then you multiply. If you get an 8 in the denominator, you multiply the numerator by 8. Okay, so our numerator is 1, so we are going to just multiply it by 8. Okay, which gives us an 8. Now, that means that our final answer should have the sum of the digits as 8. That's going to be the answer. So these are our choices, okay, given in the question. So let's add. 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 1 is 10. So here the sum is going to be 1. So this is not our answer. Then we come to this one. 5 plus 2 is 7, 7 plus 6 is 13, 13 plus 4 is 17. So when you have a 17, you do a 7 plus 1, which is 8. So you can just close your eyes and say that this is going to be your answer, okay? So this is going to be the answer. And let's see if the others are also 8. So 5 plus 2 is 7, 7 plus 5 is 7 plus 5 is 12, and 12 plus 4 is 16, and 6 plus 1 is 7. So this is not our answer. Then you have 6 plus 2 is 8, 8 plus 6 is 24, 24, so it's 4 plus 2 is 6. So this is again not our answer. So our final answer is 2564. Let's check in the calculator if our answer was right, okay? Okay, so our question was 3666, 5252, and we had to divide it by 143. So 1, 4, and 3. So the answer here is 2564, which is exactly the one that we have found here. Okay, so you see how easy that is. You just have to find the sum of the digits in the question. Okay, let's do the next one. So first we have to check if the the denominator adds up to the numbers that we want, and then can we proceed with this procedure. So 3 plus 1 is 4, and so 4 comes into our purview, so we will go ahead. Okay, now let's take the question. 436205. So it's 436205 divided by 103. So the when you add the denominator, it is 4, and when you add the numerator, it is 4 plus 3 7, 7 plus 6 is 13, 13 plus 2 is 15, 15 plus 5 is 20. So 20, which means that it adds up to 2. So 2 divided by the denominator, which is 4. Now here is the multiplier part comes in here. So we don't have to divide 2 by 4. We have to multiply 2 with the multiplier of 4. So what is the multiplier of 4 here? It is 7. So we just multiply 2 times 7, which is 14, and when you add 4 plus 1, it gives you 5. So our final answer has to have the sum of digits adding up to 5. So let's check. Okay, here the first one. 4 plus 0 is 4, and 4 plus 6 is 10, 10 plus 3 is 13, 3 plus 1 is 4. So that's not our answer because we need to get a 5. Then you have 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 6 is 15, 15 means 5 plus 1, which is 6. Again, this is not our answer. Now 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 is 1 plus 4 is 5. So 5 is what we wanted to get here. So that means this is going to be our answer. And let's take the last one as well. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 means 1 plus 2, which is 3. So this is not our answer. So you see how easy that is to find the answers from the multiple choices that you have in a competitive exam, and you really do not have too much time to do all that. So that sums up the division video for us today. And the reason I try to cover up all the concepts of one particular topic in one video, although it might get a little longer, but why I try to do this is because if you have 10 videos talking only about division, one says division by 9 and then says division by 8, so it confuses you. So basically the idea is that if you take a topic and you have a complete knowledge of all the concepts in that, you are able to remember them well and practice them well and keep them in your mind. And Also what I do is I give you snapshots of these pictures of these clues that I have written down here for your future reference. You can even take a printout of these and use for help at home. This is going to really help you out, but these printouts I put in my Facebook page, which is FAR, FAR space KLIFE. So it's FAR K Life. Okay, that's my Facebook page, and if you want to see all the videos on different topics, then you have to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is FK underscore LIFE. Learning is fun and easy. Okay, so it's better you do both. You subscribe to the YouTube channel as well and become a member of my Facebook page, so that you can get all the videos and the reference sheets that I provide for you. And it's quite comprehensive, and you won't have to look anywhere else. Have you ever done division like this before? I'm sure you haven't. So if you did like this video, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you and bye.